Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. See you. Roll call.
Yep. Mike Fawcett.
Here.
Tom Dixon.
Here.
Dan Smith.
Here.
John Green.
Here.
Jeffrey Geller.
Okay, we have some announcements. Work session held at 11:05 plant for upgrades, 11:05 resolution for public comment policy, and 11:05 late fee tag and shut off notices are all the things that were discussed at the work session. We held a brief executive session that night too, and it was like 7:30 to 8 for employee matters and things like that. We had a brief executive session at night too, from 6:30 to 7. So brings us to D. 10:21 was the monthly meeting. Is there a motion for that? Mike Cluster makes a motion to approve the minutes from 10:21-24. Anybody second that? Tom seconds it. Anybody have anything to discuss on it? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Any opposed? Just not. Okay, let's move on to E. Public comments.
Mr. Chairman, if nobody's speaking, I served an email to several entities, Mr. President of Council, and to Tima and several other entities. I don't know, nobody is telling me who put a pipe and a ditch on my property without an easement right. Nobody is telling me who did that. If it was Tima, there is not to be any open ditches on there. I have discovery that I've been found out from a legal foundation that any surface water is the liability of the property owner. If I have surface water or storm water, as it is designated, going into somebody else's property, a legal action can be brought against me. We have a situation that the Honorable Council of the Borough of Irvona has stated that they know and recognize that the storm water that comes from my property goes into a waterway that is aquatic, filled with fish, and it's unlawful. I am asking whoever dug a ditch across my property that it be taken off, because I do not want the liability. I am expressing this in a manner of firmness, not anger, of firmness, that this is a liability to me. And my neighbors are putting storm water on my property, and a lawsuit can be enacted. I am trying to stop that because there is a conspiracy in the fact that Irvona Borough has put across the cartway of Hopkins Street 2 pipes that dead end at the end of the cartway on my side of the road. And I'm asking that that all be eliminated. And I don't know who's responsible. Is the borough? Is Tima? And even the excavators who did the work will not tell me who paid them to do it.
When was it done, Jerry?
Shortly after the Tima litigation against me for a declaration of taking.
Year,
Excuse me,
what year?
I don't have that right with me.
I can't.
I can, you have it?
No, I'm saying, I wish I could help you or give you answers, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I just want to, as a public comment, and I hope that my 5 minutes have not expired, I yield back the balance of my time, and thank you for hearing, and it's a matter of record. Thank you.
Anybody else?
I do. So I just wanted to, I had actually been approached and asked my intentions and for why I was pushing for the petition of equity. So I just wanted to explain and expand upon that. That was you, by the way. That's fine. The idea is simple. It is actually just within the word equity itself. I'm just trying to see the equal representation on this board, like many other boards that are in the area, such as the school board and BCI as well, which also has equal representation from each of its regions. Comparing IMA to Altoona Water is like comparing apples to oranges. You only need to look within our community to see examples of how boards already have fair and equitable representation, meaning each area/region has equal members representing their board. For example, our local school board has 3 members representing each of its regions within the area. BCI board also has fair and equitable representation of each of its areas from representations from Vicaria, Coalport, and Irvona. There has been discussion about adding committees to this board, and to help alleviate some of the stress, I feel like there could be, to help with the stress and the issues getting taken care of, if there were more board members on there, it would be easier to create and assign heads to each of these committees. Although I have to say that after attending the IMA work session on November 5th, it was a huge eye-opener. Engineer Chris Eckenrode from Gwen Dawson and Foreman had a phenomenal presentation and was full of his wealth of knowledge. He kept stating that the plant was ending its 20-year lifespan and it was time to update. He reiterated that many of its working components were outdated beyond their existence and that change had been needed to be made. He stated that he had been putting that in his memo since 2020. Just like Chris Eckenrode is advocating for change and upgrades to the plant, we are advocating for change and upgrade to this organization. What is the reason for those of you who voted no for not wanting change? We have the interest and the numbers to do so. Why wouldn't you want to see this organization grow and prosper into something better than you found it? Something for your future, our future, and for future generations.
Well, I have an answer to that. We have a board member on the from Barry Township who thought he knew more about the water system than anybody. He was only on the board for 2 years. He worked at the authority, but he didn't know everything. He thought he knew everything about running it. He's got to screw it up so bad now because he doesn't know what he's going to do.
Dawn, we're gonna try to
What?
not get into a heated argument, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I have articles of incorporation.
Okay. I'm not stopping you from stating, I'm not stopping you from saying your problem, I'm just
I
trying
don't
to
think
get
you're
your.
allowed to do that in a public meeting.
Please, let's just keep this civil.
So,
So, do you have copies of those, you said?
She's passed them on to the board.
Yeah, I think.
Heather Bozovich should have already given
I have articles of incorporation.
Tom. Heather Bozovich should have already given you guys. Do you have the articles of
We
incorporation?
don't have the originals, but I've seen the copies. I think the originals are in the safety deposit box.
That wasn't, was that on the,
I'm pretty sure it was.
Casey, was that on the thing that you had with the RTK, the safety deposit, the articles of incorporation? Sorry.
Pretty sure it was. So, yes, no, Bill, you had something to say?
Some questions and some statements.
We'll take the statements, but questions, are, you know, you don't have to
I
answer.
want to ask, does Dan or anybody that travels back and forth to the reservoir, do you know, have you ever tracked the mileage from the reservoir to the treatment?
I was like 3.4. Like 3.4.
From the reservoir to the treatment plant?
Yeah.
It seems shallow, but okay. What percentage are we right now, reservoir versus well?
That I don't know.
Halfway.
Yeah, about half.
About halfway.
Half reservoir
Yeah,
water?
close.
Well, I could find no conclusive dimensions for the reservoir. neither surface area or the subcontour. Without the knowns, nobody can tell what they're doing on there. I have photos, I'd like to pass them around and let people see them and then come to you guys. But, you know, the agitation I stirred up when they found out I was up there looking, I wish the board had the same concern for the decline of the water and use a little common sense about what I've been saying about if you don't know what's coming in the back, how can you know what to release or what to use from it?
Well, Bill, we went over this how many times with the DEP.
But that's from June on, Mr. Brink. And
I think we're compliant with our permit. Actually, the reservoir's coming up now, like I said.
it's just a slow climb. I'm up about every 5 days.
It's
But I'll
coming.
tell you, that weir is not putting out 43,000 gallons a day. It said if what's coming in, if you can't keep natural stream flow, then you're not allowed to use the reservoir. It's very explicit. I have it right here. We're robbing the stream's dying.
Well, Bill, I appreciate your concern, but like I said before, we've had, Nick from DEP there with you at meeting, and we're in compliant with our permit, so.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, but we can't. we
I'm
have to-
done with that. I want to make
But I
it
know
known
what
I
he's
want
getting
those
at,
pictures.
can't we reapply for the slow flow coming in to make it a slower release?
We can do whatever we want, whenever we go renew it.
No,
Yeah, that's
you
what I
can't,
mean.
sir. The stream
Well-
has priority.
Well, up to whatever DEP will let us do.
Yeah.
You know,
But if we're releasing 50,000 gallon now, we only got 20 running in, you know? I think that,
I don't think there's ever been a meter on the history of
on
the
the upper end,
upper end of that reservoir, has there?
Not from when they used it up to when they put the wells. When they put the wells, it become part of the well permit, not reservoir permit.
Yeah.
But I've been saying, and I wish you would listen, in that vault that they used to use for the old well one, there was a bypass. You can put the reservoir water through there. You know, now I don't have the measurements because I had it over like 4 3/4 miles. But 8-inch line, I'll back it up a bit. You probably got like 55,000 gallons from reservoir to the plant stored in that pipe. But if you have no meter at the reservoir to tell you what's going in at that end, and then compare it with the meter at the treatment plant, you have no knowledge of what you're losing.
Yeah.
And the reservoir is draining, and that's declining the days of our use. So I saw that blue truck come up there. I wondered why it was on that road, and it was just leaking big mud balls. So there's one heck of a problem somewhere on that up road. There's no springs running, gentlemen. I've been in the woods.
Yeah.
Checked the water.
I know they're looking at putting the meter at the reservoir too, right?
Nice,
I know they're talking about it.
All right, what about a current emergency management plan? Is that being pushed to be done?
Yeah, they're working on that.
What about the conservation education for the customers and for conservation notice the state of the reservoir?
I'm not sure about that.
And what about is there data back on the actual customer gallons billed per month?
That would be through Randy, through Rack.
And still nothing back?
Have you heard
Here it is,
anything?
no
No,
number.
just came back today.
He just come back today.
How are you gonna do your budget without those numbers?
Well, she's been working on it. He's been on vacation or? He had health issues or something.
All right, almost done, guys. Is the audit back?
She's working on that now. She should have an update.
It's all gotta be time for the 2024.
Yeah, yeah, we're working.
I have a video of the reservoir when Harvey was here. I don't know if they ever seen a video of the reservoir. So it's on a VCR. I don't know how you could.
There was some tapes in that lockbox too, I think. I don't know if
They're
it was.
wells.
Was they?
They're all marked wells.
Yeah.
I never had the opportunity to use the reservoir. I was on the stinking wells.
Yeah. I'd like to see them going at the end of this, if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
you don't have to be, if you have a VCR, you want to.
Well, I meant the pictures.
Yeah.
Are you still going daily
Pardon?
and on it? Mr. Mann, are you still going daily and monitoring the weirs?
I'll get
Yeah.
them out of there. I'll let them-
At that early October meeting that the DEP guy come up,
Yeah.
I made mention, I said, well, you know, that's a lot of man hours and wear and tear on that bad road.
Yeah, we must need a camera or something to watch it.
He said that would be perfectly
Yeah.
all right, so that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
instead of the constant trips. And that would help you with security also.
Oh, yeah.
He's actually working on it.
Sign's not gonna do you any good up there, you know. If you put, hey, this is a drinking water shed for a public system, if you see crazy people doing suspicious things, please help and call this number. They
Yeah.
may not shoot the sign off the posts.
I know he's actually working on getting some quotes and stuff.
Well, when you say don't, can't, then they do, and then they
Yeah.
shoot your sign down because you put all them no's on it.
The sign is torn down
Tom,
and the gates are open.
for what?
Yeah, the gates are always open too.
We already have a camera system that turn on going.
For to monitor the reservoir? Yeah. There you go.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for the time.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for listening and for answering.
There will be a video up tonight. I was requested not to put it up until,
Okay.
till after this meeting.
Is there any other public comments? You have your hand up there, Kate.
We had yelled, our water's a little, just Dan's on it though, he was checking it out, there's no water. Neighbor up the road, that's on what's in the alley, also has no water. Don't know if there's something going on, but he's on it, so.
I don't know, I know it's not clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're looking into
They're
it.
figuring out. Mr. State, isn't that considered a flood zone?
I don't know.
So all his, like, if he has standing water, and if it goes into the stream and contaminates it, it's on him because he has things that shouldn't be in a flood zone.
I don't know if that'd be deemed a flood zone or not. That's, can't be out of my area of expertise.
And then, I thought no one was allowed, like, the public wasn't allowed to go to the reservoir because it's a protected water source, so Mr. McCusker should be out there.
Well, we're
We're gonna
gonna,
think that, but whenever you're up on between St. Lawrence and Westover on Barron's Road, you can turn around and now drive back those game lands clean to the reservoir. And there would be a sign there, but that sign deteriorated and nobody turned around seeing it. But the gate, in the pictures that we have, the gate is smashed off of it, then it was put on there like, I have no clue where we purchased the gate from. But there are a lot of things in safety and security that aren't right, so we'll just leave
We see
it at
about
that.
repairing those.
we,
We see about repairing them so the dam is protected.
It has to come to the table before we motion on it, but nobody turn around and brings it to the table, that any of this stuff's wrong, so we can't turn around as a board motion on it.
he,
Picture of it.
he, is getting the price for a new sign and stuff. What'd you say, how much you say it was, 400?
First one I did was like 460.
So, go ahead, Bill.
The game commission told me that's surrounded by game lands. If you shoot a deer and it goes out on the breast, you are allowed to go out and drag it back and take it home. You cannot shoot if there's an animal drinking out of it or on the breast.
That's always just kind of been common knowledge, I think. for
Well, it's kind of
everybody.
common sense all the rest, but I'm telling you,
Stay the hell out of the reservoir. You know?
when I started, the guy that I was under was a real hard case on four-wheelers on the road.
Yeah,
And he was in their face as often as he could. He would chase them
Yeah.
and try to figure out who they were and cause them problems.
right.
I spent so many hours picking up broken glass and screws and walking around with magnets.
Yeah,
When I got it, I sat up there on a Saturday on my time and waited till a bunch of them come, and I changed the rules. I said, don't block the road. If you see me coming, let me through. Please try not to ruin my ditches. If you see anybody out here messing around, please call us.
right.
That's all I said. You know what? I never had anything after that, nothing. Just,
No, it is concerned. I appreciate everybody's comment and concerns on it.
you know, if someone has evil intent,
Oh, yeah.
you are not gonna stop them.
Yep.
You ought to petition Game Lands, one last thought, to reinstall that upper third gate and get rid of that parking lot down there. Do you realize, gentlemen, that decline coming down when the reservoir's to your left? If I had Hill in 10, all I'd have to do would be to throw a couple 5-gallon drums of crap. It wouldn't matter if we even made it to the water. It eventually would rain would take it.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Good.
What, asking them to turn on?
No,
We asked them
talked
a
about
year
that
or
once.
so ago, whenever they were turning on putting all that money in there, they had no clue where that money came from to turn on do that, or the stone that was there. There's tens of thousands of dollars on that road, they're not gonna move it now.
Well, we can do our best by putting cameras up and, making sure we got.
Well, now, Jeffrey, you said that there was cameras already there?
No, we have cameras that you can install.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought you said they were already there, okay.
You have power up there, so
Yeah, there is. Any other public comments before we move on? to-
just the reservoir looked extremely low, and there was nothing in the back, and you'll see that.
Yeah. Engineers, anybody else have any public comments before we move on to engineers report?
Are you thinking about doing a conserved water?
Yeah, well, the reservoir is actually coming since we're
We
on.
haven't had very much rain.
Yeah, that would be up to the operators and, so.
Hopefully this week,
I
from
saw-
Wednesday on, we're gonna have lots of rain.
We're supposed to be getting some rain here. Okay, if that's it, engineers report. Did you have something else?
I just hope you would go on water conservation notice.
Okay.
Your operator has to make that call.
Yeah. We can talk to them about it. David,
Okay. On the water line project, CNR has completed all but one punch list item, which is the one meter pit that has a leak over on Shortcut Road. We're trying to get them scheduled in here to take care of that last item. The materials for the change order work are expected in the next 2 to 3 weeks. PennDOT permit has been closed out. PennDOT signed off on it. CNR has submitted an application for payment in the amount of $34,858.81, which reflects a reduction of retainage from 5% to 2.5%. That would leave a balance to finish plus retainage for the remainder of the job of $85,191.65. PennVest payment request number 6 is ready to submit for reimbursement. Let me see, okay, and the NPDS permit for the project needs to be renewed. They were too late in the year doing the ground restoration, and we do not have 70% growth, uniform growth over the restored area. So we need to renew that permit. There's a $500 renewal fee that goes along with that. And just so you're aware, the project does have a 2-year warranty, so they're on the hook for 2 years to get that resolved. On the grants, last year we submitted some grant applications. Just a couple weeks ago, they finally made announcements on those grants, and those 2 grants that we submitted were not funded. The feedback we've been receiving from legislatures is that smaller projects are more likely to be funded. So we recommend downsizing a project if you want to submit another grant application, which the due date is the end of this month. If we do a project, we're suggesting doing one for the tank rehabilitation. We got a project cost estimate for $150,000 to do all that work. So if you would want to pursue that, I have a resolution here that you would need to pass.
Can we do the motion on those 2 items now?
I think we should.
I make a
Yeah, is
motion.
that it?
The only other thing is, know, just as a follow-up to the workshop we had on November 5th, just to reaffirm that we do recommend prioritizing the SCADA system upgrades. We just need to determine the most cost-effective way that we can do that. And then as far as the remainder of the water treatment facility upgrades, if you want us to, we can assemble a project scope of work and estimated costs so that we have something to talk to Penvest about for a future project.
Okay. So we're gonna need a motion to renew the permit, MPDES permit.
I'll make a motion that we renew the permit at $500.
Tom Dixon makes a motion to renew the permit for $500. Is there a second?
A second.
Mike Bostic seconds it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion
Are
carries.
you taking that check with you?
Yes, we'll submit it tomorrow.
You have it? We have it.
Okay.
Somebody else better make a motion about the grant money because looks like I have to sign it.
So we need a motion to make, give Leroy the authorization to apply for another grant for tank rehab.
I'll make that motion.
Mike Bostic makes a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Ian Smith seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Is that all you need?
Just the payout.
And the payout, we need a motion for the payout for CNR. Is there a motion for that?
We're paying 5 or we're doing 6? Let's see, 6.
I'm sorry, what's that?
5 or 6?
There's 6 on there.
It's application for payment number 5.
For payment 5.
Requested number 5, prepared, ready to submit. How do we jump ahead?
Penvest payment request is number 6, but the contractor's application for payment is number 5.
Okay. So they want $34,858.
Right.
I'll make a motion, we pay that.
Tom Dixon makes a motion to pay the payment number 5 to CNR. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mike Bostic seconds. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None opposed. Motion carries. Is that all you need, Lena?
Yes, I think so.
Office report.
Do we have a financial report?
I have one on my.
Okay, here, fine. Need extras. What are you doing?
I can give the operator's report. Ryan can't be here today, so. This was prepared by Ryan, so I'll go ahead and read it here. So the plant produced a total of 3,826,100 gallons of water in the month of October, which is an increase of roughly 100,000 gallons from September. The reservoir is down approximately 5 feet and stream release is open. We're using the well to supplement. We received the written response from the DEP regarding Mr. McCuster's concern about measuring the influent. Upon the department's review, our current permit does not require us to measure the influent above the reservoir. On October 22nd, Ryan met with Dan at account 796, which is one of the properties coming up each month on Randy's report of high usage. The home is vacant and should now be off the tablet and dormant in the billing system. Full CIPs, cleanings in place, are being conducted roughly every 2 weeks due to the water quality of the well. The well has a lot more iron manganese in it than the reservoir does, so that requires a more frequent cleaning. That fitter will be on site again to assist with leak detection, as we have had complaints about the amount of air in people's lines recently. And the lead service line inventory notification letters have been mailed out by the November 15th deadline. This letter is to notify residents that their service line is still unknown. A total of 38 letters were mailed out. Those letters were essentially, every community was required to do a lead service line inventory to determine if there may be lead or possible lead in your lines. there were, after they were entered, then it came up with a note, or I'm trying to say, with the designation of either non-lead, unknown, or galvanized needed replacement. So there were 38 customers out of the number we did that it was unknown. So we still need to do some work on it to see what those lines are. So the report, initial report had to be sent in October 14th or 16th, and if there were any that were unknown or galvanized needed replacement, or they had lead, they were designated as lead, then they had to have notification by the authority by November 15th. And so again, we had 38 customers that were still unknown, assuming there probably will be non-lead, but we can't say that for sure until the inspection is done. And so those letters were mailed out last week. That's all I have.
How dangerous is galvanized plate?
Galvanized itself is not an issue. The reason that there's a question about galvanized is that if there had been lead, like a lead gooseneck or something ahead of the galvanized line, as it flowed through the galvanized line into the house, it could deposit lead in that galvanized line. Over a period of time, even if the lead is gone, the lead gooseneck is gone, there still could be some in there that could be getting into customers' drinking water. So the DEP, well, actually it's the EPA, it's not the DEP, is just saying if there was any possibility that there was lead before a galvanized line, then you should replace it. If it's a plastic line, a copper line, that's not an issue, but the galvanized iron, it can possibly retain some of that lead in there. So that's, otherwise galvanized is not really an issue at all.
Thank you.
I don't know your name, sir.
I'm Ken Strong.
I'm Bill, the customer. Do you know the iron manganese numbers out of well 2 right now?
Dan has been doing some tests. Dan, do you have numbers of iron manganese?
Sunday is a .10 for iron and then a .010 for manganese. Finished.
No, you're talking about the raw. What's coming in? How about the raw? How often have you been doing that?
I did that on Sunday too. I can't remember the results yet.
Ballpark, like around, I think initially you saw like a .4 iron
Yeah,
or something,
Yeah.
and like maybe a .1 something manganese.
Yeah, we've been adjusting the sodium for manganese as needed.
Yeah.
Question, is there a blow off, a time to blow off well 2 before it comes online?
Yeah, it blows up for roughly an hour before it goes into the plant. Yeah.
That's what, 120 gallon a minute?
When it's blowing off, it's 75, but when it's running through the plant, it's 45.
And it takes that long to drop it down to the .4?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, yeah, Bill, or Ken?
Yeah.
I got one problem with part of that. He met with Dan about account 796, and those people there want their water left on. Apparently, he wants the water shut, the house is vacant, but they want the water off. Our operator wants the water off, they want it on. That's revenue coming in, they're willing to pay it, but I believe it should be investigated to see if they do got a leak in the house.
Yeah, I agree.
We don't just turn somebody's water off because the reading ain't right every month.
Yeah.
If it's vacant and it's getting a reading, the water's going somewhere after the meter.
Did you guys, does anybody go out of work order on
No, I'll get hold of Wendy and see if we can get in there.
And he's just telling me they want it left on.
it? Get a work order, get a work order.
Find out if it's leaking.
Yeah.
Get a work order.
And then we're gonna need, we're definitely gonna need what we built out for October. We can get that now, right, Casey?
He's back, yeah.
Okay.
financial report isn't what I asked for. I wanted to know how much money we spent every month, where it went. And this gives me the balance. I want to know where the money's going and how much is.
I can give you the billing report that I have, that I give, I didn't know that's what you wanted to. I can give
That's
you
all right, honey.
the bills that
I'm
we
not
pay every
blaming
month.
you. It's just that
I can,
I asked him for the report, and this is what I want. And I don't want his report of all the money paid out. Where it went and who's.
is that it, Ken?
Yes, yes.
Anybody have anything else for Ken before we move on?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, all right. Operators report, office report, I'm sorry. Casey, you have anything to report?
No, just the bills we paid.
Just the bills. So we need a motion to pay the bills. I'll do that now. Does anybody have a motion to pay the bills? I'll make that move. Mike Gossick makes a motion to pay the bills. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Tom Dixon seconded it. All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed? None opposed, motion carries. Business committees. So we are talking about starting up some committees. I'm just, Leo, would you say you'd like to see for your project?
I think it would be nice to have a technical committee
Yeah.
to discuss the technical aspects of the project when we're putting the scope of work together, and then, you know, as the project moves forward, I just think that.
Yeah, I think the personnel committee would be a good thing too, to be honest with you, dealing with, you know, vacations, people have got to call off or whatnot, instead of going through the whole board. I got to get some more clarification on that from the solicitor. I believe that I can appoint chairmen to the committees, but I just want to get it clarified from our solicitor first.
I know the chairman headed all committees.
Well, not so much.
In most places.
He can appoint committees, I guess.
Yeah, but generally the chairman heads them.
Yeah, you can,
You're ex
chair-
officio.
you can make a chair of a committee too. So,
So you're
I'm
trying.
still trying to learn my way.
You're trying to avoid it too.
No, I'll jump on one, I got no problem with that. And then the other thing is the equal representation that we voted on last time was a tie. And by the information that I've been reading up on is, I don't know that, I guess the motion kind of dies, but I don't know on that either. I gotta clarify, get that clarified too. So I don't think, unless we re-vote on it now, I don't see any need for that unless somebody else votes.
Mr. Burke,
Yeah.
I need to correct a statement. You and I were in, like, locking horns a little bit. I was right, and yet you were right.
Me? I don't believe that.
This authority was formed with articles of incorporation that stated they run under the Robert's Rules of Order. Under that, the chairman cannot vote, make a motion, or second. He used to be the referee and just keep everything in order and moving along. September of 2020, I found out after. I should have checked first. But because of COVID and small communities having problems
Yeah.
having people show up for
Yeah.
the boards to keep things moving so they didn't get stagnant or have trouble, they
Yeah.
changed Robert's rules September of 2020. You are allowed to participate.
Okay. Yeah, I looked it up too.
I wanted, hey, if I say something
Yeah.
and it ends up wrong, I want to stand up and admit it.
I appreciate that, thank you. Repairs on the silver truck. So I guess we're gonna do it in-house, I guess, repairs on the silver truck, is that what we're gonna do?
Yeah,
Instead of going
I'm
with
gonna bring
that
it up in a minute.
big,
Do you want it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Instead of going.
I told him to go ahead and get paint and primer. So we're going to coat the frame and inside of the fenders. You remember the name? TJ told you what it was.
Yeah, fluid film.
Huh?
Fluid film.
Yeah, fluid film. Have you used that, Smitty?
Yep,
What do you think of it?
it's good stuff. You have to reapply it about every 2 years, but
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, about 2 years.
Yeah.
It never dries.
no.
It's like grease.
I think it should be applied to all the trucks, and we're probably looking $1,200-1,300 to do all 3 trucks.
It's actually lanolin is what it is.
We use it on machine surfaces where I work, keep them from rusting.
Yeah. Like naval, something like naval gel, you know, any better. So I'd like to make a motion to let Dan get that stuff, but we do it in-house, huh?
Do that in-house.
Yeah.
You guys said you had a special,
You can buy
That
a
we
kit,
could
you can
get
buy
for
a
you.
kit from Napa.
He'll do it for $300 a piece, but he can't bill.
Yeah.
I can get a guy to do it real cheap, but he don't officially have a garage.
It's over, how much money is it? How much?
You're gonna have around 1,200, I would think.
1,200.
Yeah, not to exceed 1,200 and do all 3.
Got it done right.
Huh?
Got it done
Yeah. You're doing it.
Eddie,
Yeah.
what's your thoughts on this? Since you're-
It'll save them, it'll save the frame, it'll get you some more life out of it. It's not like we're racking the miles up on them.
I
It's
think
age
the other
is age.
truck, the new truck was supposed to be done.
right. I don't think
It was mentioned to me the other day.
All right. The new truck wasn't done, so we wanna might as well throw some on the board for all costs to save the frame and the fenders and that too. So I'll put it into a motion that we,
Up to
spend up to $1,200 for the 3 vehicles to buy the materials.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Somebody seconded it? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? You got it.
Now, the paint and primer is coming tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
I told him to get that, but that is under the $250.
Yes, it's on the way.
It's a lot less than $10,000 somebody wanted to do it.
Both places work.
But I do have one other thing on the vehicles. It was brought to my attention, and it wasn't the employees sitting here tonight, that thing's been run back and forth to the reservoir on the dirt road at a high rate of speed. But one of Glenn Dobson Foreman's guys in it, about bounced him out of the cab. There's no reason for that for a new truck to be beat. And
No
then,
reason for an old truck.
well, even the old truck.
Yeah.
But then again, the tablets in there, leak detectors in there that we spent a lot of money on, just getting smashed around. So I think somebody needs to read the riot act to a couple people about that.
And then we can talk about that in our next executive meeting.
For you, can read the riot act to
Okay, I
them.
can do that, as long as you guys are okay with it.
But none of the guys are here tonight.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, we can talk about
all
that.
right. And one of his guys was with him.
Chris,
Huh?
Chris, that's what I asked.
Chris Eckenrode was with him. We might have to,
We can talk about it.
might have to get him a neck collar, neck
I
brace.
don't think it's Headmark's on their store.
Huh?
I know it's Headmark's on
Yeah,
their-
There's no reason for that.
Instead of a truck running
That's
down,
all I got.
getting people
That's
out
it.
before.
Anybody else have any full business? Jeff, you have anything? Dan? Nope. Okay. Move on to new business, public comment resolution. Everybody have a chance to read that? Go over it.
What is the subject of the resolution?
Public comment policy from our solicitor. We have a motion to move forward with this resolution.
What's the resolution?
What's the number?
What is the resolution?
I can let you read
Can
it.
you read the resolution?
I can read it. It's a lot. Sometimes I have a hard time understanding words. Whereas pursuant to is the Pennsylvania Sunshine Act 65 PA constitutes statute 710.1, a municipal authority may adopt reasonable rules and guidelines for public comment periods to maintain an orderly process, including the imposition of time limits and the use of audio and video recording devices. And whereas the Board of Directors of the Irvona Municipal Authority recognize the value of public comment on issues arising in the authority meetings and on issues pertaining to the services provided by the authority. And whereas the Board of Directors of the authority wish to adopt reasonable rules and guidelines for the public comment period during public meetings and hearings and the use of audio and video devices at public meetings. Now therefore, the Board of Directors of Irvona Municipal Authority adopt the following reasonable rules and guidelines to for public comments period during public meetings and hearings. Public comment. 1, all taxpayer of the authority, resident or taxpayer of the authorities incorporated municipality shall be afforded, I think it says afforded, an opportunity at the begin, maybe awarded, at the beginning of each advertised regular or special meeting of the Board of Directors to present comments to the Board on the matters of concern, official action or deliberation which are or may be before the Board. Official action is defined as the establishment of policy, decisions on authority business, and the vote on any motion. Proposal, resolution, rule, regulation, report on directive. Deliberation is the discussion of authority business hold for the purpose of making a decision. The public comment period of each public meeting shall be no more than, that's blank, we gotta put numbers in there for ourselves, minutes. In the event there is insufficient time for public comment at a meeting, the authority may, at its discretion, defer the public comment period to a meeting held in advance of the next regular or special meeting or until the next regular meeting. To the extent reasonable and proper under the circumstances, each individual shall be afforded not more than 3 minutes for the presentation of said comments, regardless of the number of issues in or whether they're a taxpayer, a ratepayer, resident, or taxpayer of multiple units. All individuals wishing to speak shall, prior to the commencement of the meeting, sign in on a sign-in sheet provided by the authority and shall provide their name and address. Prior to commenting, individuals shall wait to be recognized by the chairman or presiding officer, and then the individual shall identify themselves by name prior to speaking. Comments shall be directed to the board rather than the authority staff members and shall not be in the form of questions. The authority may immediately comment, reserve comment to a later time, or decline comment. The authority may also recommend for the right to know request to be submitted for information. Individuals will not be allowed to comment more than once per meeting. Individuals not yield their time to any other individual. Should a third party, such as a property manager or legally authorized representative, wish to speak, they shall provide proper documentation of their authority to do so on the board prior to the start of the public comment period. Individuals shall not speak outside of their recognized public comment time as to not disrupt others from or the meeting. Board members, authority staff, and members of the public are expected to conduct themselves with civility and to accord each other a measure of dignity and respect. Shouting, personal insults, and attacks or any other such conduct that may be deemed to be disrupt the flow of business is out of order and may subject an individual to removal from the meeting. Individuals shall avoid the use of foul language and derogatory comments. The chairman and/or presiding officer shall preside over the public comment period and may, within his discretion, rolling, scandalous, I can't pronounce, impertinent, argumentative, and redundant comments, or any other comment that the discernible person for which is disrupt or prevent the conduct of the business of the meeting. The chairman or the president officer shall have the ability to have any person who violates these rules removed from the meetings after a verbal warning is given. Should a participant wish to address the authority on a non-agenda item or item special is concerned, the participant may submit a request in writing or by mail at least 7 days prior to the board meeting. The participant must include a topic of their speech. The authority will confirm if the request has been added to the agenda. The authority will make every effort to accommodate matters that may arise within 7 days prior to the meeting of an emergency basis. The participant shall have 3 minutes to comment. Audio and video recording. The use of audio recording devices, video cameras, and video cameras with audio recording is permitted at public meeting at the authority under the following guidelines. The use of any recording device shall occur in a manner which shall not interrupt nor interfere with the conduct of business by the board. Recording devices shall be used from the person's seat in the audience or from the back of the room. However, no such recording devices shall be placed upon the board's table. At the commencement of any meeting, any person wishing to record the meeting shall announce to the board and to the members of the public in attendance that they intend to record the meeting. Use of any recording devices shall be accomplished in such a manner as not to interfere with any other members of the public's ability to fully participate in the meeting. Use of video equipment shall occur from a back or side of the room and shall not be located in front of the other members of the public so that they are not interfering with the view or other members of the public. Persons using audio, video, or video recording devices are solely responsible for complying with all applicable state, federal, local laws, and are solely responsible for any loss, destruction, or theft of the recording equipment or video equipment. The board may at any time modify the foregoing procedures by a majority vote. All resolutions or part of resolutions or prior policies, whether formal or informal, inconsistent herewith shall be in the same or hereby rescinded, canceled, or annulled. And then just as the duly adopted this day by the David or Board of Directors.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I serve an objection.
Okay, let's hear it. Yes.
Title 65 states that we may make certain question during discussion time prior to a vote. So I may have more than one time that I would have a question. So I serve my objection.
Okay. I'll let anybody read this too.
I want to agree.
Okay.
I want my name as objecting to it also. And also, I'd like to make a comment if I may.
Yeah.
Since Mrs. Morrison is, let's check her memory. When the wells were real bad, Gary Holden was boss. You remember how full that borough building got with people coming in with ruined clothes? She made a motion to limit to 5 minutes public comment, early 97. So you're modifying the already what was in the rules and regs.
Yeah.
But to tell people that they cannot ask questions.
Well, I think this is giving us,
You know.
this is giving us some leeway with orderly, you know, I don't
If it's a
think,
pertinent question.
I think we can all say that I've been pretty fair with people with public comments and questions. I've never denied anybody anything really. But I think that sometimes these meetings do get heated amongst people and we need some order, and I think this is a good way to.
That's your job.
So I'm not saying, nobody's saying you're not allowed to say, you're not allowed, nobody's saying that, like, you know what I'm saying? I think I've been pretty fair with that, like.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You know,
I thank you also.
so. I just think we do need some order, like, instead of vectoring back and forth.
We have to put something in there.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll.
We have 3 minutes below, but what are you putting up there?
We can put whatever we want,
Oh, 3 hours.
so. Is there a motion to pass this?
But we're gonna have to set that minute first.
Yeah, we need, yeah, we're gonna have to have a, so what would the meeting minutes be? I'm okay with 5.
Well, this
It
is
don't
for
need
the
to be
whole,
3.
this is for the whole public comment period.
Oh, is that what that
We're gonna
is?
limit to like a
Okay.
half
All
hour,
right.
45 minutes. You need to figure that out.
Yeah, I think,
Oh, that's for the whole meeting.
well, it must be, yeah. I
So
didn't
that's the
catch
whole
it.
public
Yeah.
comment section.
I put it 3 hours.
3 hours. Is that what you want? 3 hours?
But this is just the public comment section, not the whole meeting.
Yeah, what do you think, half hour? 30 minutes? Which, we can keep it going, it's not like this is written in stone, I mean, it's not like, you know, if we have pretty important discussion going on,
May we,
try to get some control over it.
may we in public comments, if we use up our 3 minutes, may we submit the full manuscript and will it be entertained in the motion or in the minutes?
Well, I think it would probably, I don't see an issue with that.
Thank you.
Myself, I don't. But like I say, I just, you know,
So you're doing 30 minutes.
for total public comment. Yeah, and then like you say, it's not like,
You know, but we have.
yeah, it may be 15 minutes when we get cut, but it may be 45, it depends on what we're talking about. So it's just some sort of a guideline that we can use. So,
Yeah, we need to know what resolution number that's gonna be also.
would that be the, would your resolution be 24-2, wouldn't it?
I don't know what the number,
I think it would be 2, I think we only did 1 this year, so.
Casey would know. What resolution are we up to?
I think we only did 1.
I'm not sure.
I think we only did 1 to my knowledge. It's like,
I'm not sure for the whole year.
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So this would be perfect.
Maybe it would be 22, Or yeah, his would be 24, 22, this will be 24, 23.
24/3.
Yeah. You know of anything else, Jeff?
No, I said at least one or two.
I know we did one for sure.
The new number before would be 2024-101.
Yeah, this year. Well, this would be 24-03, 24-03.
You don't have a resolution book?
What's that?
You don't have a resolution book?
Probably at the plant.
Thank you.
So we should be able to rain out.
If it's not great, we can always modify
Two
it.
would be the one we just did for him.
You said about like the rules and regulations, and will that be updated, like everything will be updated?
Well, I think we'll have to update the rules and regulations in the work session.
Everything, I didn't know if you need a motion, like,
With the rules and regulations, I think this would probably be right down if it's coming after it. I can find out from the solicitor.
I
I
can
understand.
between not having bylaws, but having the rules and regulations is trying to like,
I don't know if that's even in the rules and regulations.
not the rules and regulations I've seen, but I know other people keep commenting about the different rules and regulations, but I have yet to see those. And
Yeah,
see those.
I only have one set.
If they were reading, it would have to be added to it.
Yeah, we have to have to.
This supersede bill. This supersede bill. What the last code was.
And like I said, it's not like, we're saying we're not gonna listen to what anybody has to say or anything either.
It just gives us the power to shorten the meeting if it's getting too long.
We're getting out of control. Filibuster, ain't that what you called it, Jerry?
I spoke for 4 hours and 32 minutes in Colport Borough Council meeting. They had no rules, so we have a rule now.
That's why they don't have a council.
All right, so, anybody got a motion on this or not?
I'll make it.
Mike Costa makes a motion to pass resolution 24-3, public comment policy. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Dean Smith, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None opposed? Motion carries for 30 minutes, by the way.
Is that what we're making it?
Yeah,
Mr. Chairman, I was a counselor though. I had the right.
There's a lot of rooms I don't know.
Oh.
All right. We only need one more motion to adjourn the meeting. Sorry, just to try ahead.
Oh, okay.
I haven't had a bill for the garage in the past 2 buildings.
For your garage?
Yeah. And I don't want to have to make payments.
As far as I know, he never called to get it turned on.
What's that?
He never called to get that water turned on.
No, so it's just standing on there, what's coming with it.
Do you want it turned on, Karen?
No, I just want to be able to pay the rent. Isn't there like, say, a fee or something that's higher?
Norman Field.
Or whatever.
If you guys ever adopted
I don't want to end up
it?
having that.
They have it against the guy.
I don't know, but I just don't want to end up having to do
But that's a BCI building because they sent that right there. And then, they put a good in. So they charge
that. But we don't have it, that's fine.
Is that the carrying there? You said BCI charge, is that the carrying?
Yeah, $5 a month, I get a $5 a month bill.
Oh, yeah, the garage is on BC, the Carey Township.
For the sewer.
Because I know the property, I know the property lines right there, maybe somewhere. Okay.
Anyway.
I get it.
Another fundraiser. So,
We only need one more motion.
Okay, I'm done.
Is that it? Anybody else? Bill Custer?
Yeah. Out of curiosity, how long are you gonna make her work by herself with no help?
As soon as we can find somebody we feel is we would already have her in there.
And it's November.
I know. Trust me, we know we need somebody.
I didn't call to confirm. I drove down Wednesday and picked my wife's nose up and she was sick.
Yeah.
And
Yep, people get sick.
Mr. Zach couldn't help me.
Yeah, I know. We're well aware. It's hard to find good people right now.
We got our knowledge and
Nobody-
commend the ones that you do have.
Yeah. Somebody wants to work. So.
I'll make a motion, I'll stand.
Dan Smith makes the motion, adjourn the meeting unless somebody else has something else.
No second.
Maybe one more thing. Thank you all for sitting on there.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried, meeting adjourned.